Big game coverage live from Los Angeles. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. Our big game coverage from Radio Row in Los Angeles continues, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the Nearside App, and Texas Cheer Liquor. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. This is Nick Mangold. Always fun seeing you around Radio Row during the pandemic because nobody else had anything to do. We were zooming in. And look, we could talk football with you, and we will. But we like talking barbecue with the great Nick Mangold. Man, how's your day?
It's going well. This is it's a slow day today. We had a big day yesterday, so we're just kind of easing into that red-eye flight that I have home tonight, which I have already.
Oh, nice.
A red-eye tonight.
The red-eye tonight. We got basketball games tomorrow morning.
Joys of being a dad and always being there. Now, the question is, because we did see you last night at Dick and Jaw Cigar Party, do you go to some Super Bowl parties tonight and then go to the airport?
No. Actually, the Dick and Jaws is the only party I go to anymore. I've gotten too old.
Come on.
And they do such a great job, and it's so laid back and casual, and you can actually hear people.
Yeah.
And have conversations. It's quite nice.
That was a pretty cool place there, wasn't it, last night?
It was
the whole
really
outdoor
nice.
thing.
That outdoor thing.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody else, and we compared it to the one they had in Miami, which was also kind of the similar setup, but it was more of like a rooftop.
Miami was incredible. Miami was like being on some sort of movie set, like the a way for the rich and famous that most of us have no idea that things like that actually exist.
Exactly. I'm not staying there. But it was, the venue last night was amazing. I love how they had it set up. They had fantastic cigars. The food spread was
good
too. Like, it was nice, and it accommodated everyone. You didn't feel too crowded, but you also didn't feel like it was not really the happy.
A lot of people there. Now, the bacon wrapped hot dogs. Mm-hmm. How many of those did you put down? I'm
not going to put a number on it, but I did work.
Have you experienced that? Because in Texas, they don't do the bacon on there.
So I got introduced a little bit to it when I was at a buddy's house for Christmas. He's British. And for Christmas, they do bacon wrapped sausages.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, oh, that is fantastic. I love this idea. And then we kind of took it on, and my wife's family does like a bacon wrapped cocktail wiener, and with like some brown sugar and everything just kind of melted down. Like it's nice.
It is not. You know what's crazy is you got all these. You got all these people right outside the convention center on their little grills or whatever
street grills.
Yeah, and I saw it and I said, I got to try one of those.
Yeah,
and so I was happy to see them last night.
Yeah, the street food's amazing. Like, the smells you get while you're walking around.
It's unbelievable.
But the smells are.
I'm not eating it.
Well, exactly. That's where I'm going. I have to have a lot of drinks in me to go, you know what? I'm going to, in New York, I don't know why that's different than in LA, but
see, like at least those are like the carts and everything.
Yeah, like real stands.
This is a shopping cart. Someone's grilling hot dogs on the shopping cart. Like, I don't think you have a permit.
Well, that and their bacon and what we had last night, and they called it street hot dogs, but they were very gourmet street. I mean, they were like from Beverly Hills or one of those rich area streets where they don't allow the grills to be on the sidewalk.
Exactly right. Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Let's talk about food because now I'm getting hungry and I'm thinking barbecue. Mm-hmm. You're pretty good at that, especially what to put on barbecue. What do you got here? Tell us about your sauce, Nick.
So this is the Mangold 74 BBQ sauce. We have an OG. We have a spicy. It's my little baby. We started and we've talked on this program in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's tough because how do you give out samples? How do you go meet and greet and talk to people in a grocery store, meat market? And so that made it tricky. So we kind of counted that as our cold opening. And now we have a pretty good infrastructure set up. So we're kind of relaunching into what we hope to get it in more grocery stores because buying online is expensive. Shipping is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no two ways around it. They say you get free shipping. They just build the shipping into the price of the bottom. Like, well, that doesn't really.
Right.
Whatever. It sounds good. Free shipping. So I want to be in more stores so that way more people can enjoy it. And because it's such a passion for me, and I've had so much fun with it. It's been such a learning process. We're doing it now for almost 3 years from the start of when we wanted to get into this space to where we are now. And it's nice. Like, we have an online presence. We have maxwarehouse.com now has a subscription service, so you can set it and forget it, and you just have the barbecue sauce delivered to your door anytime, any intervals you want. So if you want it every month, it's there. Because sometimes, you're bored, you don't know, and you're like, we'll just throw some chicken on the grill and we'll throw some barbecue sauce on it. And you're like, all right, great. Then you open your fridge and realize you're out of barbecue sauce.
Right.
Like, and then
So you just get it served, delivered. You don't even have to think about it. It just
you don't
shows
even
up.
think about it. It shows up at your door.
And you're like, the great Nick Mangold was thinking of me and realized I needed more.
Exactly.
I like that. Now, give me the website again, because I know while you're getting a business off the ground, there's always hurdles, and you learn new things. And every day you learn something different. And I've seen you go from your own website to another website to, so where now?
So we still have our own website. We just don't sell off of it. So mangold74bbq.com. That's where you can go, and we update with when we get into a store. We add that location on so you can find quickly, where you can get it. And it has, different recipes and everything. We're trying to start to build that back up too as well with the social media. For buying online, you can find it on Amazon. You find it through maxwarehouse.com and their subscription service. So we're on an online presence. I just want to make more of a brick and mortar presence. I want to go away from Amazon. I want to come back to the brick and mortar.
Now, we do a lot with Tri-County Meat Market, which is the best meat market in all of San Antonio. And that's where I get all my meats. I know Saturday or Sunday morning when I get home, and by the way, they're open 10 to 3 on Super Bowl Sunday, getting some baby back ribs that will end up on the Traeger for Super Bowl Sunday. That store has a lot of various rubs and sauces in there, and they're not the big national stuff that you're going to see. It's more homegrown. So when will you get into places like that, or is that the goal?
That is the goal.
Okay.
Obviously, every grocery, if you could get into Walmart and Myers, and that would be amazing. But those big places just aren't taking on little people.
Yeah.
And their distributors aren't taking on little folks. I'm actually currently in 2 meat markets on Long Island. I have a butcher in New Jersey, and I also have a deli in New Jersey that's selling it. So we have those little presents, and it's more if you do want it and you want it to see it in your store, you need to go. Like, if it's somewhere where obviously I have yet to be gone to San Antonio except for one time to play in the Alamo Bowl. I don't have a reason to get down there, so it would be you going in there and saying, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, we need to bring this in. Can you get this?" And we'll happily ship it anywhere.
Well, we're your guys, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Sure, we can take care of that. And I'm always fascinated why people do things, Nick. So this is not obviously something you woke up one day and said, "Hey, I want to get in the barbecue sauce business." How did this all come about?
So it started when I first started making my own barbecue sauce, and it was not for bottling. It was for home use and for my friends and family, and it was a recipe. I do most of the cooking at home. And I thought, as I was really getting into barbecue, I was like, I can do better than what I'm buying in the grocery store. So I set out, recipes, trying things. I had time on my hands during the off seasons where I could really dive into this. And I came up with one that I love. And my wife liked it, so I was like, that's good enough for us. As long as we like it, it's a good sauce. And so I'd serve it whenever we have friends and family over. And everyone, you always know you serve somebody something, they're going to be like, well, this is garbage. Yeah. They're at least going to be like, oh, that was good. But they never come back. So, people will have it and be like, oh, it tastes great. Really good sauce. All right, thanks. So I get done playing football. I take about a year and kind of recollect. And I'm talking to my guy and said, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, what do you mean? Because you can't just spend every day at home. Like, your wife's gonna kill you. Your kids are gonna kill you. You need to come up with something. I was like, that's probably a good idea. And so we're going back and forth. And he's like, well, do you have what do you want to do broadcasting? And I was like, well, I don't want to leave my family because that's a lot of time on the road and everything. I enjoy my kids. And so finally, it just kind of hit me. I was like, for 11 years, I was an entertainer. And I was like, I've never created anything other than my 4 kids. And so I was like, I want to create something. He goes, okay, what are you good at? Like, I don't know. I got nothing. I was an entertainer. I was good at football. And he goes, well, do you currently make anything? And I started to rack my brain, like what I do. And I was like, well, I cook a lot. He goes, all right, let's think about cooking space. And we just kind of snowballed. And he got to, he's like, well, do you have any, like a famous, what you like always serve with something like a recipe or something? I was like, oh, I make a barbecue sauce. He's like, all right, make me a batch. I'll try it, and then I'll take it to some other people and have them blind taste test it. If it gets good things, let's roll with it. And so he took it out to his house, gave it to a bunch of friends and family. They all tried it. They all loved it. And that's how it got born.
And the packaging on it is incredible. Mangold 74 barbecue with the beard and everything, which you have. And if you're watching on our YouTube or Facebook, you see that. You look the part. And you might also see Jets legend, future Hall of Famer Nick Mangold wearing one of the ugliest shirts you will ever see. Now, I thought when you walked up, you had some sort of Tabasco sauce. I'm not sure what's going on. And then I realized it's that weird, let's put chili in our spaghetti Cincinnati thing that I don't understand it on a plate, and I certainly don't get the shirt.
Okay, so where do you want to start? We got to start with that shirt. Okay, the shirt. I saw this. This was an Instagram ad, of course.
Yeah.
You're scrolling at night and ding. And I saw it and I said,
what were you searching that got served to you?
You don't want to know. And so I was like, I need that shirt. Like, that's a great novelty shirt. I love Skyline. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. It's not weird to me. Like, it tastes delicious. It's not so great later, but it's
not so great later.
But in the moment, you love it. And so I was like, I need that shirt. It's hilarious. It's a good conversation starter. And it's funny because unless you know about Skyline Chili, Cincinnati Chili, you have no idea what this shirt is. So it's just there, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just a pattern. But if you know, like I had someone was sitting over there as I was walking by, and like, I love that shirt. I was like, I'm from Cincinnati.
Okay,
there you go. Right. I was like, I know it, and it's not like bold and blatant or anything, but it's fun. So, I don't know. I know people hate it and other people love it. I've never heard anyone be like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like it's definitely on the spectrum. So, case in point, my marketing guy, born and raised Long Island, went to college at UMass. So, like East Coast all the way. He goes to Cincinnati. Goes to Skyline Chili because he has heard of it and orders a bowl of chili, which is probably the absolute worst thing you can do because it is not good as a bowl of chili. So we get in the argument all the time. We argue all the time about Skyline. I was like, you ate it wrong. He goes, why would I eat it wrong? I went to a chili place and got a bowl of chili. I was like, well, that's not my fault that you ate it wrong.
You didn't train them up well enough. So Nick, when you think about the Super Bowl, obviously connections to Ohio, you are a legendary offensive lineman. Cincinnati's offensive lineman is not legendary. Can they overcome their issues on the O-line to protect Burrow enough? I'm guessing quick release, quick pass, quick releases to have a chance in this game, or will that Rams front eat that offensive line for lunch like a bowl of Skyline chili?
Oh, and they would be happy. I tell you what.
Not after.
And I love the storyline because I'm glad that we at least are now talking about an offensive line.
Yeah, right. Good, bad, or indifferent.
At least we're talking about
right.
And so what I'm seeing is, yes, the Rams defensive line presents a major challenge for any offensive line. I mean, you have Aaron Donald in the middle. You got Von Miller, who still has gas in his tank, and it can be a force off the edge. And so the problem is, and everyone will talk about it, where you have to double team Aaron Donald. And you're like, well, then that leaves 3 one-on-one matchups, which any one of those can break down as well. So it's causing problems, and everyone wants to know, well, how does the O-line, handle that? And to me, you can't change what you do. Something you did got you to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And if you try to, flip-flop and change everything you're doing, I think it's going to make it worse. So, at some point, and they all get paid. They're paid. They're 5 paid offensive linemen. Yeah. At some point, they're going to have to put their big boy pants on and block Aaron Donald one-on-one. And it might not be a pretty block, but if you give Joe Burrow just enough time, he's going to make something happen. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. Everyone talks about Tennessee, 9 sacks. But then they come back to Kansas City and they get the job done and they win. So I'm hoping that they don't fall into the ghost of being scared of Aaron Donald and the hype that is Aaron Donald. Because while he is the best defensive lineman, in the game right now, he's still, he still puts his pants on one leg at a time. So
he does. Yeah.
He can be blocked. I think Cincinnati, will surprise a decent amount of people with the job they do up front.
I got to ask you, who are you scared of?
Nobody.
Of course. What did you expect him to say?
Well,
because he doesn't put his pants on because he was that badass. Like Aaron Donald, he just does it differently.
Right. I just thought he might be a little transparent
Somehow,
here, but that's okay. I mean, if you're in Skyline Chili here,
I was not scared of anybody.
Nobody. Well, who was the toughest matchup?
Albert Hainsworth when he wanted to.
Okay.
He didn't want to all the time, so it was all right. Vince Wolford.
Okay. Yeah.
And obviously for the player he was an amazing player, but we also had history. I mean, we played against each other, I think 23 times over the course. So he knew what I was going to do, and then I knew what he was going to do. So then I would go to the second one. He already knew what the second one was. So it was like a huge chess match and bluffing and everything. Those would be the two I would say. Zach Thomas was a heck of a linebacker, and so that was always a struggle. Ray Lewis, he was tough as well. So I've gone against some pretty solid
big names,
big name guys.
And you're a legendary player who will one day be in the Hall of Fame. And because I know you're competitive, I'll ask the question. I know the answer. Between you and Vince, who's the better barbecuer? Who's better on the grill?
So we actually had a competition.
Of course you did.
Wow.
Summer of 2020, they did, I forget who sponsored it, but they were doing a cook-off challenge. And so Vince was smoking at his house, and I was smoking at the beach, and we got after it. And, we couldn't taste anything because it was virtual.
Yeah.
But straight off of looks and execution,
you got it.
That's because of the Mangold 74 barbecue sauce, of course. The website, real quick, once again.
So it's mangold74bbq.com and maxwarehouse.com.
Maxwarehouse.com to get it sent right to your door. You told me during the pandemic you were going to send some, and I guess you lost my address.
Okay,
so there's a bottle in my hand
again
that's display.
Remember that I said that we have our infrastructure set. We had supply chain issues, right? A lot of supply chain issues.
Yeah. Always great seeing you, Nick, man. Enjoy that long flight tonight.
I'm going to love it.
Absolutely. Nick, good seeing you. Nick
Appreciate
Mangold joining us here on the Blitz.